All right, welcome back, everyone, to Terror and Urban Myths. We're diving into something pretty creepy today, so if you like what you hear, please subscribe and give us a like. But for now, let's get into it. This one takes us to, well, Mexico.
Specifically, a small town in Guanajuato. It's supposed to be this idyllic place, peaceful, everyone knows their neighbors, you know.
Yeah, the kind of place you picture in a postcard.
Exactly. But, like all the stories we cover, there's a dark side.
Of course, of course. So what's the story here?
So, the story centers on this woman named Rosa, and from what the sources say, she was a really beloved member of the community.
Okay, so we've got this friendly neighbor, Rosa, in this, like you said, idyllic town.
Yeah.
That sets the scene. But where's the terror come in?
Well, Rosa had a neighbor named Teresa, and Teresa was, well, she was considered a bit peculiar.
Peculiar how?
She was known for doing these rituals, things that made her neighbors uneasy, uncomfortable.
Like what kind of rituals?
So the sources describe them as rituals with symbols and imagery that were totally foreign to the townspeople.
Huh. So unfamiliar, strange.
Yeah, exactly. And they also reported seeing her going out alone at night, heading towards the mountains.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Late night trips to the mountains, strange rituals. Yeah, I see where this is going.
Right. It's all very suspicious, especially in a small town like this.
Where everyone knows everyone else's business.
Exactly. That kind of behavior would definitely raise eyebrows, fuel the rumor mill.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got Rosa. We've got this, let's see, eccentric neighbor, Teresa. How do their lives intersect?
Well, tragically, Rosa's 5-month-old baby was found dead.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's awful. The baby was found under the bed, and their skin had turned this disturbing shade of purple.
That's horrifying. And I'm assuming Teresa is somehow involved.
Well, several neighbors claimed they had seen Teresa in the area around the time the baby died.
So naturally, suspicion falls on her.
Exactly. And remember, people were already uneasy about her, her strange practices, her late-night excursions. So whispers started spreading, connecting her to the baby's death.
People start to think she used some kind of dark magic, witchcraft.
That's exactly what they started to believe. The fear, mixed with the grief and the unknown, it created this perfect storm of suspicion.
A small town, a tragic death, a mysterious neighbor. It's a classic setup for a witch hunt, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what did they do? Did they confront Teresa?
Not directly. Instead, they decided to spy on her, follow her.
Really?
Yeah. One night, a group of neighbors followed her as she made her way towards the mountains, those same mountains she was always seen going to.
Okay, and what did they find? What did they see?
They claimed to have seen her building a bonfire, chanting, dancing, and speaking in a language they didn't understand. And then, this is where it gets really strange, they say she took off her feet and transformed into a bird.
Wow, hold on.
Yeah.
Transformed into a bird. That's taking things to a whole other level.
It sounds unbelievable.
Yeah.
But whether they truly believed what they saw or their fear just got the better of them, it definitely fueled their conviction that Teresa was a witch.
So they saw what they believed to be proof of witchcraft. What happened next?
While Teresa was supposedly in this bird form, the neighbors, they ran up to the fire and grabbed her discarded feet.
They took her feet.
Yeah, and they threw them into the fire.
Oh, man, that's gruesome. Why would they do that?
It was meant to be a way to control her, to break her power. They believed that burning her feet would cause her immense pain and force her back to her human form.
And did it work? What happened to Teresa?
She disappeared. They couldn't find her anywhere. And then a few days later, they went to her house and found her lying on the floor without her feet.
Wow. That's a lot to unpack. So she was alive, but without her feet.
Right. It's unclear how she lost her feet or how she even got back to her house. But for the townspeople, it was all the confirmation they needed.
They were convinced she was a witch, even more so now.
Exactly. Their fear had taken over completely. They gathered everyone in the town and, they set Teresa's house on fire with her still inside.
Oh my God. They burned her alive.
Yeah. It's a horrific end to a story that really started with just whispers and suspicion.
It's a stark reminder of how quickly fear and paranoia can spiral out of control, especially in a tight-knit community.
Absolutely. It makes you think about mob mentality, about how easily people can be swayed when they're afraid and looking for someone to blame.
It's a tragic story on all sides. Teresa, whether she was a witch or not, met a terrible end. And the townspeople, driven by fear and misunderstanding, committed a truly horrific act.
It really leaves you with a lot to think about. Was Teresa truly a witch practicing dark magic? Or was she just different, an outsider who was misunderstood and feared?
We may never know the truth, But her story serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of fear and the importance of critical thinking, even in the face of the unknown.
And it raises questions about how we treat those who are different from us, those who don't fit in. How far are we willing to go based on suspicion and fear?
It's definitely a story that stays with you. And on that note, if you want to hear more stories like this, be sure to subscribe to our podcast. We'll be back soon with another dive into the world of terror and urban myths.
And until then, keep the lights on. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows.